Well, heading into November here with Zaire Franklin, and Z, take us through this bye week. How big was it for this team at this time of year?
Major. Well-placed bye week. Shout out to the ACC. But yeah, it felt good to, kind of be able to sit back, relax, get our bodies together, get our mind mentally right for this 4-game stretch we got coming up now.
Well, what was it? A couple of years ago, you guys had the bye in September, which at the time, hey, you're fresh early in the year, must have been a long grind to the end. You've played a ton of games. How much can this help in the last month?
Oh man, a well-placed bye is major for your season. To have it, especially what we have it now. You played a tough, hard-fought 8 games. And now coming into the home stretch. Very pivotal to playoff. Postseason implications. It's just major to be able to get that little rest. Just to rejuvenate yourself and get ready for the last games.
All right, give me the assessment of the first 2 months. You played 8 games. Where do you feel the team's at this point?
Just famous words of Coach Baker. I think we were occasionally great, and we just wasn't consistent when we wanted to be, and lost some really tough games. I think we lost every game by basically 8 points, and I just think defensively is things we could have done a lot better, just to put ourselves in a better position to win games, but. That's why they keep playing the game. We got 4 games to make it right.
Yeah, they were all basically one-possession games when you look back at the start of the year. Now the last month, FSU and Louisville are on there, maybe not quite up to expectations. BC and Wake have surpassed expectations. How do you evaluate that collection of teams looking at you?
Man, I was just telling somebody today, I just think college football is just so weird, and just football in itself is weird. I mean, who would have thought, I don't know, like Florida State would be, I guess, towards the bottom of that Atlantic right now, and the Louisville be playing the way they are, and just, but that's why they play the game. That's why you strap up the pads, and that's why you got to put it on the field.
Yeah, that's why we all watch it too, because you don't know the answer to the questions before we turn on the TV every week. All right, Miami a couple weeks ago, it was that close game, and the defense was kind of keeping the team in the game until the offense got it cranking. What's that feeling like on defense, that the team's kind of leaning on each other evenly this season, where maybe that was not the case a year ago?
I think it gives us a great sense of pride, just to know that, we're playing a major part in, the team's success, that we're an asset and not a liability, and, that they lean on us for Juice to say when we lean on them. And, when it's close games like that and, the offense is, not doing as well as we like, we just know that if we keep holding on, keep holding the other opposing offense off the field, it's like, J.J. Redick, eventually one of them shots is going to fall, and you got to keep letting them shoot.
That sounds like you've been watching the Sixers here. I know a Philly guy that knows a new player on his team here, but the main stat for J.J., it's 3-pointers. For you guys, it's third down defense. When you look at the numbers last year, it was 41% on third down, which was not good. This year it's 23%. That is second best in the country as we get to November. How has that number changed that drastically?
I just think the focus, the level of comfortability we have with Coach Ward, and just him instilling the playing great on third down. And not only playing great on third down, playing great on first and second down, so you can put yourself in advantageous positions for third down. So you put them in offense in places where they don't really want to be in. There's no real good offensive play for third and long, so that's just what we try to do.
Hit me on what the defensive line is doing so well this year. It's set up a lot of this, I think, that the line of scrimmage is changing in your favor on a lot of these plays.
First and foremost, Chris Slayton's just, a man amongst boys. Offensive lines don't know what to do with him. He's a technician down there, but he's also a manimal, and he could throw 2 different people off of him. He's playing lights out. Caden's down there just being a technician, and those guys are just, playing the tails off for us and holding blocks and changing line of scrimmage, and they allow me and Paris to just flow free.
Florida State this week, they're 2-5. That sounds weird. Does it look weird to you on film, or does this look close to what you expect to see about Florida State?
Well, I think Florida State's still a very talented team. They still got ballers all across the field. I just think, been put in a tough position with a young QB, and they lost a lot of close games. So, I don't think they're not a terrible team, not as bad as everybody wants to say they are. It's going to be a tough game this weekend. We're hoping to pull out that victory. You
know what it's like playing with new quarterbacks with injuries, what's happened around here the last few seasons. When they lose DeAndre Francois in the first game of the year, now James Blackman's in there. What have you seen out of – it's a true freshman young QB out there.
I think, as a young guy just getting thrust in a position that maybe he wasn't really, expecting to be in. I think he's just, trying to get his feet together, trying to get his feet established and be able to springboard and build off of something. I think he's still trying to establish his identity as, you know, as a passer and as a runner, but you know, he's got a lot of playmakers around him to help him out, and you know, receivers and running backs and a decent O-line. So, you know, we got our hands full this weekend.
Lastly, Z, you know what it means going forward for the program to get these big wins like you did against Clemson. Nobody in this league has beaten both Clemson and Florida State in now 7 years. What would it mean for you guys if you can pull that off this week?
Well, I didn't know that, first off, but I mean, honestly, you know, our team is just taking it as a, you know, one game at a time mentality. You know, we know how big, you know, victories we have, and you know how close we played in some big games, but all we really could think about is just getting W's and going 4-0 in November. That's all we care about.
All right, starts this week in Tallahassee. Zaire, enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
That's Zaire Franklin. Matt, let's send it back to you.